Hello, welcome to another edition of All About Anne's Art with Anne Laidler. Today I'm painting video 3 in my Trees Through the Seasons selection, and I shall be painting autumn. Now, as you can see, I've already painted a sky, a blue sky with ultramarine and a small amount of burnt umber just to make it slightly grey. And I've already mixed some gold paint for my trees. This is quinacridone gold, and I shall be painting using the brush on its side, scraping on the paper to give myself some leaf marks. Now, as you can see, I'm moving the brush around as I go so that I'm not always using the same side of the brush. I'm getting the paint off. Let's pick up a little bit more and carry on painting. Now the sky that I painted is bone dry, so that the orange paint isn't running on it. I need lots of leaves in the middle section of the tree, because the trees are much thicker in the middle than they are on the outside. Okay, now I've also got some quinacridone red, which I'm putting on the brush, dab a little bit off so that there's not too much on the brush, and then put some of that in the trees as well, just to give the nice warm colour into the quinacridone gold. So this is a really lovely autumn scene. There we go. I think I might mix a tiny bit of ultramarine blue with some quinacridone gold to give myself a dark, dull green, just to have some green, a few green leaves in the tree as well, just so that it's dying down from the summer. There we go. I think what I might do as well, as that paint's drying, the quinacridone gold is fading away a little bit. I might just put some more gold on the paper just to brighten it up, give it a nice bright, warm autumn feel. There we go. The paper I'm using today is £140 or 300 GSM, that's grams per square metre, knot paper. The knot refers to the texture. And the size that I'm doing is 12 inches by 9 inches, so each one of these is half that. So that's 9 by 6. I'm just going to mix some burnt umber for my tree trunk. I always find burnt umber's a bit too chocolatey for me, so I'm just going to add a touch of ultramarine blue just to make it slightly greyer. Makes it just that little bit off brown. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put some trunk in, so I'm going to start from the bottom and paint upwards to the tree. And along the bottom I'm not going to cut the base off flat. So if you go into a woods or a park, anywhere where they have trees, the trees are never straight into the ground. They're always got a little bit on either side where they're growing. So I'm just going to work my way up here with some branches. Now what I want is, I don't want to have the branches showing all the way up. I need to have some hit and miss, because some of the foliage is in front of the branches and some of the branches are in front of the foliage. So I'm just going to do that. Just make that tree a little bit fatter. Needs to be just that little bit sturdier. Right, there we go. I'm going to change to my number 5 brush now. And I've also got a rigger ready to paint some really thin branches. So the number 5 is just that bit smaller than the brush I was using there, and I can get some finer lines with it. So I'll just get a few marks up through the tree. I want some coming round over here, and another one over there. And there's nothing holding this foliage up, so we need to have a branch over here. Okay, so just have a bit of a breakaway branch there. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I've got a small piece of credit card here that I'm going to use to scratch some marks on the tree trunk to make it look a bit more like bark. So what I'm doing basically is I'm scraping the pigment, pushing it aside and leaving the white paper showing. And now I'm going to work with my rigger brush. Just put a few more very thin branches in. Bring them up through the foliage. Bring them out here. And also the tree that we're painting has a branch coming out there, and also another one coming out there. Now these have to join onto the tree, they have to be sturdy enough to be growing from the tree. So I put a bit of a mark in there. Now I just need to double check that I've got enough branches in the tree. I think I have got enough showing. Just put another one down there. Now we haven't got quite enough here for this foliage. That's better. Now, because this is an autumn tree, it would have grass at the bottom of the tree trunk. So we put some green here. Just like that, and a few bits of grass growing up over the trunk and the roots, like that, just to anchor the tree down. But there would also be bits of quinacridone leaf dropped on the ground, and just scatter a few leaves there like that, making some marks. And also there'd be some few red leaves, not that there's many on the tree, but there would be some on the ground. Just go back into that quinacridone gold again, just to make sure that that's nice and gold on the ground. A few over the tops of the tree. And then finally I'm going to add a bit more blue to my tree colour. And I'm going to put in a fence, like that, a metal fence. Now when you're putting fence in, remember, don't paint it neatly in straight lines, because fences in parks and woodlands are never straight like that. They're always slightly wonky and rickety and old. So there we have it, an autumn tree using quinacridone gold, quinacridone red and burnt umber with a small amount of ultramarine blue.